All right, so that's recording. Hi guys, happy 2021. Yeah, if people start to jump in, I'll admit them, but we're gonna rock and roll with people that are here. So somebody just popped in right when I said that. Okay, so
Bethany, real quick, people are saying in the message thread that they can't get in, that it's saying invalid.
Invalid.
But I mean, I don't know.
I
just want to let you know there are two people that just said that they couldn't get in. I'm asking if it's full.
Here.
I paid for Zoom, so this sucker better not be full, or Zoom's gonna be getting
that shouldn't be full.
Piece of my mind and giving my money back. Let's see here.
Sorry.
No, thank you for telling me. I didn't even see it. Is it full? No, it shouldn't be full. Yeah, there's somebody.
One, two, 3, 4, 5. Somebody said they gave them, that said that it was invalid link or something.
It's right here.
I don't know.
Let me. Yeah, somebody just joined. So let me see. Hey, look. I don't even know how to look and see if it does have me limited on how many people can be in here. I don't think it would limit to 10 though if I'm paying $15 a month.
Hey Bethany, this is Heather.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, when I tried to just click on the link to join, it wouldn't let me join either, but I copied the link and then went to a browser.
Okay.
Opened it and it let me right in. So I'm wondering if that might be the problem. I'm just on my phone, so maybe others are trying to join on their phone versus a computer, and that might be the issue.
I'm on my phone too, and it told me to copy it, and I ended up just going to my Zoom app and typing in the PIN.
Me and Ashley messaged the same thing at the same time.
Okay.
Hopefully that might work.
Yeah, I mean, let me see what the. I know that one of the two that's saying they can't get in. Well, one of the couple earlier told me she had never used Zoom, so that could be part of it too.
Okay.
I'm trying to write it down and oh, there's one of them. She got in. And I'm recording all of this, so it's going to be awesome. People are going to watch it and go, look, they didn't know what they were doing. Okay.
Hey, Bethany.
Yeah.
Hey, so I had to get a piece of paper and a pencil and write down the meeting number and the passcode, because when you copy and paste it, it didn't bring up the right number. So if people are, weird. If people are still having a hard time, maybe they'll have to do the same thing.
Yeah, I just wrote it down and just sent it in the messenger as what the meeting ID and the passcode are. So maybe that will help.
Gotcha.
Because I actually got my computer to work with it today, so I could see everybody on gallery instead of just using my phone. So.
Okay, whose cute little accent was that just now?
That's Jessica.
That was adorable.
I know, right?
Gosh. So redneck is what it is.
It's not redneck.
Listen,
Jessica
I'm from Southwest
her own
Missouri.
hair salon. She is her own CEO before even doing Zaya. She's pretty legit here.
Thanks.
Who is Zoom user? Somebody is in here and their thing says Zoom user. Who is that? Anybody? I don't know who it is. Maybe they can't hear me either because they didn't respond. Well, Andy's in. Okay. So I know Jessica was one that said she couldn't get in, and Andy, so they're connecting right now. And then I think April and Amanda. Who is Zoom user? You got your audio on now because you're muted. Who are you? Who is this person?
This is Amanda.
Ah, okay. Your thing says Zoom user and there's no picture. So I was like, I don't know who that is, but I want to see who it is to make sure they got on the call. So I think April's the only one, but she's probably gonna try to get on. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, there's Amanda. I see a picture. Look at you. See? Okay. All right. So I've recorded all of that. So I'm just going to tell everybody, just skip the first 5 minutes of the recording or something like that. I don't know. Okay. So we'll jump in. I know April, I think, is still trying to get on, but I'm sure she'll figure it out if all the rest of you that it was messing up for figured it out. So I was going to start with just reviewing the stuff from the corporate call. I know a lot of y'all were on there, or you've seen that Rachel's posted about it, or everybody and their sister has gone live about it. But I know there were a few questions about the point system and all that. So I was just going to review it real quick. If you have more questions, message me. I don't care to break that out personally for anybody that wants to know about it. So they did say there will be a bonus launch in January. So we'll have 5 new release days. They will give us 24 hours notice. They're waiting for it all to clear customs. I do think that somebody said that those distressed ripped black leggings are going to be one of the pieces, because I think Brenda has confirmed that that's one of the pieces. So if you have people looking for that specific type of thing, I know those are a big deal right now, the ripped leggings. I think those will be in the bonus launch. So if you have a list or something, I'd write them down. The speedier returns process, I'm going to have to get more clarification on that. I know they said there's going to be like a label in the back office. You won't even have to go to the post office. I guess you can just print it from home and ship it. I feel like we have a shipping label right now. So I feel like, I guess I'm wondering, is there like a barcode on it maybe that UPS can, or whatever, USPS can just pick it up from your house, scan it and take it with them. But I'll try to get more clarification. But that should be coming by the end of January, along with the whole you can move your own orders in the back office. So he said, I believe, by the end of January. So I know that people were excited on the call, but I didn't want anybody to come off the call thinking that was like happening, when I don't think it's going to happen for a couple of weeks. Let's see. The new sizing info with various sized models. I think there's going to be a specific link that you can send people to where it's different shapes and sizes for certain pieces, along with the launch recap videos on Instagram, where I know you can screen record if you don't use Instagram, or they'll be on Instagram, but they're going to be 1 minute increments so that they fit easily in stories. If you all are needing those for people or like to use those recap videos, they do a pretty good job with those. Of course, everybody's already posted about Make Room Monday. The Verb Live thing, I think that looks really interesting. I know Verb is how we run the app. If you don't have the app, you have to pay for it. It's like $7.95 a month. You sign up through your back office under subscriptions. So I did have it and I canceled it. I may go back to it just to see, because I have had a few people that have not wanted to run parties on Facebook. I've run some through email. And then some people that run them through Instagram, but this seems like this would be actually easier than running one through Instagram almost. Just depends on, if you have enough people that want to do them off Facebook, and it's worth the $7.95 a month to have that and learn it. Because I think you do have some learning curve with it, because it's a whole different system. But I did like how they showed where you could put icons and people could click the specific piece and it took them directly to it. I feel like that would be easier in parties, because some people get lost on our links and in our pages and stuff like that, because we have so many pieces. So that is what the Verb Live thing was, if you looked at that and weren't sure. The base camp on March 5th and 6th, I think they said March 5th is going to actually be for Zaya executives and above. It's like a training online dinner type. They sit down and do stuff. And then on the 6th, it'll be kind of like Summit was, except there's no swag bag. This is more focused on training. I think they're trying to help hit people with specific goals, hit more specific things. It is virtual again in March. So keep your calendars down for that. And then the Riviera Maya trip. So the other trip they talked about, that was for people that couldn't go this fall because of COVID. So those are people that hit Zaya Executive this past year. That's their trip. They're taking them this year instead. But the Riviera Maya trip from 1/1 to 3/31 is when you can earn your points. So January, February, March. So they did have all the points broken out. So you will get 4 points for every 2,500 PV you get for that month. So if you get 5K, then you're going to get 8 points, specifically just for your volume. So that's kind of how that, it's just 4 points is going to be given for every time you hit that marker in that month, or whatever month in those 3. Then you'll get 2 points for every new rep, however many that is. And then the 10 points will come from if you have 3 reps in that month, 4 closed parties, which your own parties count, and then $2,500. So if you were to like have a blazing month and have 6 reps, 8 parties, and 5K, you'd get 20 bonus points for that month. So I think that, and I was reading some of the messages, I think Amber is correct, because when I was totaling it at first too, before I read kind of the specifics, I was like, well, then how are you even going to hit, you know, because I was like, well, you only get this and that. But the fact that it kind of is all separate and then it just comes together makes it how you can hit that. And there are people that hit it really quickly. I think even last year, like hit it in maybe like 2 months instead of 3. So it can be done. I don't want anyone to overwhelm themselves. I read, like I came off that call and then I watched, because we were in the car, watched the live with Zaya on Flya about the Chicago thing. Those are awesome things to push for. And I think anybody on our team can hit it. I definitely do. Don't overwhelm yourself with thinking you have to, and then push yourself so hard the first 3 months of this year that you burn out. I don't want you to do that. If you want to set it as a goal, and I will help you in any way that I can with what action steps can get you there and help you push, I am more than happy to do that. But I want it to be something that you guys want to do and not something you feel like you have to do because everybody's talking about Mexico. Okay. You're still an amazing person and on this team, and I love you whether you push for Mexico or you don't. And then you do get bonus points for rank advancements as well. So and those come in varying, I think it's 3 points for junior rep, 6 points for senior rep, 8 points for director, and 10 points for senior director and above. So that will help too if you're pushing for ranks. Those rank advancements will help you with points as well. So there are lots of ways to earn it. Just don't, like I said, don't overwhelm yourself with it. And then, of course, Hit On Zister Squad is doing Spirit Week this week. If you guys didn't see the post, we love us some Spirit Week. And it's just fun. I mean, it's just something fun, and everybody seems to kind of get up for it. So I think that's why Rachel likes to run them a whole lot, is because everybody seems to like them. So those themes are on Zister Squad. I didn't write those down. I figure you guys are grown folks. You can go read those. You don't need me to read them to you. And then the Zister Squad promo that Rachel is doing is the 2 by 1,500. So 2 new reps and 1,500 PV, and you get a Zister Squad mask that she has made from Vistaprint. So I feel like that's really cute. I like that idea. So those are the kind of January to March things that I wanted to touch base with you guys on. Again, if you have specific questions after this, just shoot me a message. It doesn't have to be in the Zaya Can't Get Fly. You can personally message me and ask questions. That's totally fine. Okay, so all that's reviewed. So I did want to, there was a 3-day like a professional development kind of / personal development training that some of us did. This is sustainable, I can't even remember all the lights right here. Sustainable success for social sellers. So bad. But her name is Kristen Boss. She's at Becoming Boss on Instagram if you want to follow her. She has a podcast that's free. So if you have, if you want personal development and you don't want to pay to be in her academy, you can totally access her through podcast or Instagram. There's always options to do that. But she did hit on some really good stuff. I made notes because, like I said, it was 3 days. We had an entire workbook that's pages and pages and pages. So I only tried to write down the things that I thought stood out to me. But if there's other stuff you would like to know or you want more information on what we learned, I don't care at all to share the workbook pages with you guys. That if you weren't in there, that's totally fine with me. But she did touch on mindset. It was interesting to me. I'm sure Jayla feels the same way. And if anybody else does mental health, the whole cognitive triangle thing, thoughts influence feelings, which influence actions. That's something that I know Jayla and I do on a regular basis with mental health. And I'm sure that Ashley does it. And some of you all, I think Andi said she does mental health too. But she was talking about kind of the way that impacts you in business. That your thoughts, without you realizing it, will affect your feelings and then influence whether you act or don't act, which not acting is also an action. But she talked about having low belief in yourself, low belief in what you have to offer, so you don't offer it to people, and low belief in others, automatically writing them off that they won't want what you have or they won't want to be doing what we do, so that you kind of rationalize not asking them. So those were mindset things that she touched on that I felt like were important. Sometimes we don't think about it in that frame. So those are things she talked about working on in your own mindset. And that can be done through podcasts, books, whatever you guys do for personal development. And if you don't do personal development, reach out to your upline or me or whomever, and we can find you something that fits what you need, because not everybody needs the same thing. She also talked about low failure tolerance. I know that's a big issue for me. Growing up in school, it was straight A's or it was not good enough. Not because my parents did it, but because I did it to myself. So a lot of times when we're doing this, we expect it to be easy. We expect that people will like us. And the first time somebody doesn't like a pair of light and tights, or the first time somebody doesn't like what we have to say, then it's us. Right? We're a failure. This isn't for us. We shouldn't be doing it. And that's not the case. You have to be able to tolerate failure. I think we make that seem like, we're doing something wrong, is actually just a learning experience. So you can take it and tweak it and learn from it and move forward. And essentially when you're doing something like this type of business, that's exactly the mindset you have to have. There's nothing wrong with you if somebody doesn't like a pair of Zaya leggings, and that's okay, because there's also nothing wrong with them. It just may not be a good fit. And being able to kind of step back and see that there's nothing wrong with you personally if something happens, or if somebody doesn't want to join you, or if somebody doesn't want to host. That's okay. The waitress keeps offering the coffee and the water to the other tables, even if one table doesn't want it. And they also talked about low emotional allowance. So that's kind of big words, but you can't always expect to be motivated. Okay. So a lot of times we like rah. I mean, I can watch Rachel go live and she will jack me up, but that feeling is not going to stay. And you have to be able to recognize in the longevity of what we're trying to do with this. And most of you on this call are trying to make it for longevity, from what I can tell. You're not always going to be pumped up and ready to blow the roof off. And that's okay. You can still build, move your business forward, set goals, put one foot in front of the other, and do what you need to do, even if you're not in the greatest emotional space. That's, a lot of us have day jobs. Unless we're really, really sick, we probably still go to work. So it's kind of like, if you're working this as a business, it kind of has to be that way with this too, even when you're not motivated. Now, the cool thing about this is it doesn't take all day. You're not working 40 hours a week or 40 hours plus, some of you all, doing this, but don't expect that you're going to be pumped up, jazzed up, ready to sell some leggings every day, all day, because it's not going to happen. So expect resistance. If you're not getting people telling you no, you're not asking enough people, it's going to happen. And again, there's nothing wrong with you, and write their names down. Be sure you're tracking. I am not super high-tech spreadsheet person. I like my notebooks, these notebooks that Rachel Rachel started out by sending me one when I signed up. I order them off Amazon. They come in packs of 3. I can give you the link if you want them. They're spiral bound, they're durable. I love them. They have tabs and everything. I use them for all my stuff. So I use pen and paper, and everybody I reach out to, whether it's hostess, whether it's rep invite, whether it's they were in a party and they ordered something, or they asked a bunch of questions but didn't end up ordering, I will write their name down, because you can always go back to those people, and if you don't track it, you don't know who you've asked, you don't know what you've done. So if you're using this as a business, track it somehow. And some of you all might be way more high tech than me and use a spreadsheet. And if you do, I love you. I'm going to stick with my pen and my paper. But whatever works. So expect resistance and understand it's going to be hard. Okay. So I often say this is simple. It is simple. I mean, it's clothes, right? You're not changing somebody's mindset to try to get them to eat better and work out all the time. You're not doing anything super in depth. It is simple. It is fun. It is quality gear. You're not trying to push something that's not good. It is good. But it will take work. And like I said, it's not like it takes all day. But if you want to build this, if you want a steady income, it is going to take reaching out to people. It is going to take consistently posting. It is going to take consistently sharing. It is going to take having parties booked. It just is. So understanding that it's simple because of what you're sharing, but it is going to take a little bit of work depending on what you want to use it for. Now, if you don't want to build it, if you're just like, I like the gear, I want to offset my cost that I spend on my gear, it may not take as much work for you, and that's fine. And that's the really cool thing about this, is it can be whatever the crap you need it to be. It doesn't have to be the same thing for everybody in this gallery view of mine. It can be what you want it to be, and it can change however you need it to change. It's going to take work, but I want you to know that whether you're my personal level 1 or you're not, you can reach out to me at any point in time. I will help you with a goal. I will help you with action steps. I will help you figure out, is this right? Is this wrong? I may not always be available because I do have 4 kids and I work full time, but when I get to where I am available, I'm there. Don't worry about it. That's perfectly fine. And a lot of people that I have as level 1s who have you guys under them, they're extremely great. So your own level 1 is probably fantastic to reach out to too. But don't feel like you ever have to float around in this by yourself. Don't ever feel like a question is dumb. No questions are dumb ever. And don't ever feel like you can't reach directly out to me, even if you're not one of my level 1s. You can do that anytime you need to, even if it's not business related, totally whatever. And one thing I really did want to touch on that she spent all of day 2 on is intentional marketing. And the reason I wanted to touch on this is because sometimes I see that people, and you can reuse and tweak, and I'm not talking about parties here, I'm talking about VIP posts and other things. You never want to just copy what someone is using and use it the exact same thing on your VIP. You don't want to do that, because essentially all of us are selling Zaya, right? All of us, but that's what we're selling. The thing that builds your lifetime customers, that builds your brand, is you. Somebody that connects with me may not be the same person that connects with Kelly, may not be the same person that connects with Brittany. And that is why it's awesome to have a brand that has such a wide array of reps to choose from, because you can form a personal relationship with your customers because of who you are. But that takes you being willing to be who you are, not who I am, not who Rachel is, because I use her party scripts, but I will tweak the wording when I post them because I don't say y'all that much. Rachel does. That's how Rachel talks. And if I post that, people will probably be like, I don't think she really talks like that. So I know me, and I know how I want to present, and it is hard to understand and cope with the fact that not everyone's going to like you. That's been very difficult for me for years. But that's the reality of the situation. And once you're okay with the fact that you're not going to sell to everybody, because you don't connect to everybody, but the people you do connect to, that's where the magic is. That's where the word of mouth goes around. That's where the extended network comes from, and the parties that you're hosting for people that you don't even know. That's where that comes from. So we have to be okay being us. So whatever that is, and that's not, I'm not telling you to go soul search for years and years. I'm just saying, however you are, however you act, whatever you like, own that. Because there will be lots of people that own that as well and are refreshed by your willingness to be you, and then they'll connect with you and they will become lifetime customers who spread the word about you and create your network of people. So make sure that you are intentionally being yourself. Make sure that you are using not only your VIP page, which is very important, but you're going to reach more people using your personal page as well. I'm not saying to post about Zaya on your personal page. What I am saying is to be consistent with posting on your personal page. I would say once a day. Again, doesn't have to be Zaya. It can be, I don't know, some of you all are really good at things I am not good at. Whatever that is, share something you like to do. What's your family doing? Motherhood, full-time work, fur mom, like different things. And this sounds cheesy, but people are attracted to that. And the more that they see you in their feed, the more that you become relevant to them. And then sometimes when you guys are like, I'm having a hard time finding conversations. Well, if you're regularly posting to your Facebook and your Instagram, if you don't have Instagram, that's fine. And if you're regularly using stories to build the relationships you already have by talking on your stories, use hands-free and your mouth and use your words. That's how you build. That's how people get to know you other than just your picture on your Facebook. Then they watch your story and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, they're a real person, not just that picture that had really good lighting with the ring light and that nice picture behind them, which I do like my ring light very much. It's right here actually. But so that's why I like stories. 1, because it disappears in 24 hours. 2, because somebody has to intentionally watch your story. And 3, because you can talk to them. Whereas on your Facebook, unless you go live all the time, you can't really talk to them that much. So that helps. So make sure you're using things outside of your VIP page to be you, because that adds to the whole be you part, right? And that doesn't have to do with Zaya. And that's one thing she mentioned too, content over at content and copyright. But content is what she's talking about. Like, you know, if you're super good at cooking and you're offering recipes every once in a while, people are going to be like, man, I really like her recipes. And then they watch your story and you're talking about this gear that you wear. They're going to be more likely to be like, I really, you know, I've tried her recipes. They're really good. And now she's talking about these leggings. And they're going to be more willing to have a conversation with you because you're already offering them other stuff, other content in other ways, you know. And it doesn't have to be, I don't have all these niches. My husband is the one that cooks. I don't knit. I don't make things. I'm not crafty. Like I don't have, but I feel like I have a few things that I can offer them that somebody might connect to. And then I'm building a relationship with them through my posts and then backing that up through my stories that has nothing to do with my VIP page. And that opens your market there as well, because people are seeing you and having a conversation with somebody that's been liking your posts is going to be easier because you know they've been seeing your posts. So they know who you are. It's not going to be as difficult to have a conversation with somebody that's watching you, right? So that opens up the whole having conversations thing. So don't be afraid. You know, if you need help, like I don't even know what I'd post about, shoot me a message. We'll figure it out. It doesn't have to be super crazy wild. It's just putting yourself out there, and that will help you feel like you have more conversations. And the last thing she touched on, and this really, I wanted to make sure as I flat my yap, I'm trying to make sure what time it is to respect you guys. We set monthly goals. I know that with Rachel, because you know, you want to have targets you're trying to hit for each month, right? You want to kind of see where you're growing, what worked, what didn't, what you need to tweak, those sorts of things. I love those. And I do have the pyramid. I'm glancing in that direction because my December pyramid is still up there. My January one's downstairs, but I don't want you guys to get in this, she called it the hustle cycle. I like the word hustle. For me, it's more of a on the basketball court type of thing. But the way she explained it, hustle usually leads to burnout, because it's almost one of those where you push, like to hit something by the end of the month. And then you've pushed so hard that you have to take the beginning of the next month to recover. And then you're pushing again towards the last half of the next month because you had to take the first part of the month to recover. So, and that leads to burnout. So what I'm hoping that this opportunity and this team can offer for you guys, if it hasn't already, totally reach out to me. Something I find peace and contentment with in this is if you are consistently just having a couple of conversations a day, asking it for getting a couple of hosts. If you're booking your parties before the month hits, that next month, if you're trying to fill your calendar just steadily, a couple of people at a time, as you go, it shouldn't be a grind it out till you can't grind anymore, got to take a week off type of thing. And I have found peace in this opportunity because I feel like that has been, I'm able to do that with this. And like I said, if you haven't been able to do that, hit me up. Let's figure that out for you, because I don't want you to be stressed. But never feel like you can't book your February parties until February 1st hits, or until the last week of January is there and you're scrambling around trying to get that party for the first week of February. Book as you go. I had people in early December that were like, I don't want to have a party in December. Okay, well, what about January? And I had my first 5 parties for January. They were already booked before Christmas hit. And I was okay with that, even though I may have not had as many parties in December as I wanted. I knew, okay, January's going to come. I've got half my calendar already booked. And that kind of gives you that where you don't feel like, okay, I need to message 15 people right now and get me some hostesses. Because that mindset and that hustle and that push, that's going to be where you're going to get to a point where you're going to be like, I don't think this is for me. And I will tell you, when I say this can be anything for anyone, I very firmly believe that, but it will take some work for it to be what you want it to be. So if you think it's people are just going to come to you wanting to host a party, it's not going to happen. Sometimes it will. Shoot, sometimes I'll post and be like, I have a party. I'm like, okay, yes, I'll write you down. But that's the exception and not the rule. But if you're consistently, and it doesn't have to be a bunch of people every week. If you're having 2 conversations a day for the weekdays, and then you don't message anybody on the weekends unless you're checking in with hostesses or party goers, that's 10 people in a week that you've asked if they wanted to host. And if you're wanting to do 1 party a week, you're gonna be set up pretty well with hostesses, just people, because they will say yes. If you're posting regularly, if you're hosting parties regularly and inviting people to your VIP that you didn't know that were from the previous party, or messaging people that have ordered from you, or people that are watching your stories, you'll have an abundance of people that you can message, and it will continue to grow. The more parties you have, it's the whole cyclical thing, right? Because you're growing your network and all that jazz with having the parties. But I want to really focus on helping you guys achieve whatever it is that you want from this. And your goals may be very different than mine, and that is absolutely okay. But I really want to be able to be more hands-on with you guys and help you guys do what you guys want to do with this, and figure out how to make it doable for you, so that when you come off your launch party and the next month you don't have hostesses and you think it's just not for me, because I've had three people quit off my level ones because they had a launch party and then they didn't invite for hostesses steadily and they didn't have any, and it's not for them. And that's not the case. But that wasn't for them. They didn't want to do it. That's fine. I've had to take some work internally and make sure that I realize that's not my fault. Okay, it's just that happens sometimes. That reverts back to the mindset thing. But you can make this what you want to make it without being overwhelmed. And I want to make sure that I'm helping you guys do that as much as possible. I want you to have fun. I want you to do with this what you want. And I want you to grow and feel confident and amazing, because you all should. But I want to make sure that I am offering you guys as much help with that as possible. So be sure to message me if you need me for any of that. Let's see. Okay. And then the last thing, I have signed up to do, it's called the Push Mastermind with Josh Coates. If you don't know Josh Coates, I'd look him up. He's called a push coach. He works a lot with Beachbody, but he is venturing into other arenas. He's very in your face. He likes to sling around the curse words. So if you're around the kids all the time, he may not be the greatest one to listen to outside of headphones. But I like him very much. And one thing he said was, when you write your goals down, make sure you revisit them every day so that you know what you're working on. Because at times I am guilty of writing my goals down, putting them somewhere, and I might glance at them when I walk by them once a week or so. But if you're taking the time to look at them and make goals for longevity, not just for the month, where is this month going to help you get towards further in the year? So I've got a June goal and I've got a December goal, and these months are helping me build to what those are. But make sure you revisit your goals every day. And if you're not hitting them, let's tweak what we're doing to get there, not tweak the goal because we haven't gotten there. If that's your goal, it's your goal for a reason. And we can always maneuver things we need to get you to whatever that goal is. But don't change it because you start to get afraid that it was too big. But revisit every day. So I like that. And Rachel has applied with Josh. There's like a Push Elite. I did not apply for that one yet. If she is approved for that, I think there's a chance that her downline gets like a percentage off of the Push Mastermind with him. So if that happens, she's keeping me in the loop. I went ahead and signed up without waiting for that. So I will share with you guys everything that I get from him. But if she gets that and that extends to our downline, which it should, I'll let you guys know if you guys are interested in something like that. It's essentially just, he has a tracker. He does a call every week with you. You're in a Facebook group and he holds you accountable to doing the things that build your business forward. So I'm trying it. We're going to see how it goes. But if she gets that, I will let you guys know. And if anybody's interested in that, you can absolutely take advantage of it. But that's essentially what I had for today. I know that after our technical difficulties, we kept it at a decent 30 minutes, but it's actually like 40 minutes because of all of Zoom. Does anybody have anything, questions, comments, anything at all? No, it's so quiet. Okay. Okay, well, I didn't want to keep you guys super long. I just wanted to touch on all of this stuff. Rachel will have, I think she does team calls every other Wednesday. So that should be this Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. But she tapes those too. So if you can't be on those, she tapes them. She usually keeps them to 30 minutes and puts them in the Zister Squad page. So I think there'll be one this Wednesday and then one 2 weeks after that. I would like for us to be able to meet like once a month in our downline at least. And some of you all are really, really good at some things that I'm not so good at. So I may be messaging some of you and asking you to speak on some of these little calls here. So, all right. Well, I love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Glad to see your faces. And if you need me, I'm here. Bye, guys.
Be well.